You ready? Yeah, you got me running, you got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Raise your hands up, raise them up.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's currency call. And if you're wondering what is going on with Scott's background, I'm actually coming from the southwest of Perth, about 4 hours south from Pemberton. And it's a bit of a hobby farm as well. So if you hear some noises, like some sheep or some donkeys, that's okay. I haven't been kidnapped and taken to a farm. I'm going okay. So now, just to start off, guys, it is currently the 18th of October already as well. And we do really appreciate all the feedback and the comments that we've been getting as well, and the participation recently. We do really appreciate that. And I just want to do a quick introduction to the currency call as well. It is now episode 398, and we're very close to episode 400 now. And if it is your first time here, a big welcome and hi to all the regulars too. So the introduction is, we do this currency call every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. GMT +8. And the currencies we analyze are as follows. So on Monday, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday, we do the Euro. Wednesday, we do the Pound. Thursday, Yen and Gold. And then Friday, we do CAD and Crypto. And this currency call will be going through the market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and the short-term traders. And here we will go through what could move prices, the possible trade ideas as well, and we'll highlight the potential targets and risks associated with those trade ideas. Finally, a disclaimer, so please take note of this. Any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. And again, always feel free to welcome questions, whether it's in the LCMS Traders Club and also within the chat as well. So I did see there was some activity as well. Good morning, afternoon, evening to everyone as well. And that I'm down on the farm. I haven't really done much farm work though. So, and the internet is good, luckily. Now, just to start off, guys, before we get into the Aussie and the Kiwi analysis with Jin, I've just got up here, thanks to Sam Trade, the 1 hour time frame on the US dollar. And, you know, if you were trading on Friday, it was, well, frankly, it was quite interesting how the US dollar reacted. And we did have the retail sales come out, and they did beat expectations. But the overwhelming theme in the market, which was present, was that we did see the US equity market continue to rally. And why this is important is that the market will rally when the environment is favorable. And that means that high interest rates are not historically been seen in the statistics to be favorable for stocks. So the market is still saying that there's plenty of time to go, and there's, you know, not this stress in the market where they're going to be starting to raise rates immediately. Now, obviously that NFP miss that we saw has hindered things somewhat. But as you can see from the price action, you might only pay attention to the price action, but you'll see that it's a very choppy market currently. And if we go to the 4 hour and we zoom out, well, that's actually the zoomed out position there. You can see really that we have come down, and Jin mentioned this as well, with that breakdown of 94, and then we did come down and nearly hit the recent lows that we saw back earlier in the month. So we've seen quite a lot of movement in regards to the highs and lows for the US dollar, where it's nearly broken out over 94.50. We've come back down again. And where we are currently, we're above a 94 flat, but just barely. So, you know, when you have a look at the calendar as well, and I posted this in the LCMS Traders Club this morning, there's not really a lot of news out for the US dollar this evening. And what I would say, and what I've been looking at in regards to the other pairs is that everything has responded, where we've seen the euro, we've seen the pound pop up a little bit, and the Aussie dollar as well, even the Kiwi, which will be talked about with Jin. That was quite interesting to see that inflation data come out very early this morning. But what I would say, just looking at this, we still have some unknowns. And I would really say until we get some clarity from the Federal Reserve in regard to the situation with when tapering is going to commence, it's still a point where even Kim Hong mentioned this last week on Friday, where medium to short term, which would mean the next few weeks until we see the end of this month, you'd have to say that some downside on the US dollar is likely, but not a lot of downside. But it's just not a time to be aggressively trading, with US dollar strength in mind. I would say we just have to see a little bit more mention from the Fed before it'd be time to jump in on that. And, really looking at the Aussie, especially, that's sort of shot off quite aggressively, especially last week. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. But it definitely for the Monday call, there's going to be enough to talk about for Jim. We don't have Kim Hong in. He's still doing his military service, but we do have Jin now, multi-million-dollar trader with LCMS Traders, just to go through what to pay attention to and how the Aussie and the Kiwi are looking for potential trade ideas. So over to you now, Jin. And I'll just
Thanks
stop.
for that, Scott.
Stop here. Sorry about this.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that, Scott. So we're just having fun chatting about you being down in the farms. So I've just ran the poll for tonight's coaching session. Just a few things to share with club members about the session happening tonight. So if you're a club member, make sure you join. If you're not already a club member, make sure you join the club and then join the session tonight. Right. So with that said, I'm trying to keep this a bit short and sharp today because it is quite simple the way that we are looking to trade. Why I say it's quite simple, right? So sometimes before you even look into your charts or before you even plan on your trades, I'll just show you the chart straight away here. This is the Aussie US on the H4 time frame. What you should notice is that it is sitting at that 74 level. We've seen it test a bit higher. We've seen it test that 74.23 level a couple of times since last week and early today. Doesn't seem like it likes that higher level. So at this point, looks like it's retracing back down. What are the reasons for this move back down or this possible retrace back down is really down to the news. Looking at forextradingasia.com, the economic calendar here. Today, this early morning, we had the New Zealand CPI number. It was quarter on quarter was 1.3%, expected a 1.4, got released at a 2.2. So very good news here for the New Zealand dollar. CPI year on year was 3.3, expected 4.1, came out at 4.9. This is a good number, but CPI being an inflationary indicator does show that they do have inflation running a little bit too hot, a little bit too high. So might see the Reserve Bank of New Zealand step in and take some action at this point, especially if they don't consider this as transitory. If they look at this as a possible long-term effect, then we're possibly going to see more cutting of stimulus or more cutting of QE and the possible increase, further increase in interest rates. But why we haven't seen that big jump in terms of the Aussie or the Kiwi dollar is because of what happened at 10 a.m. We saw the Chinese GDP number coming a lot lower than expected. So previously, quarter on quarter was a revised 1.2%, expected 0.5, came out at 0.2. Year on year was 7.9, expected 5.2, came out at 4.9. So the thing about the Chinese GDP number is that although we don't trade the Chinese yuan, what happens here for China is that they are a major trading partner with Australia. And you can see that because of that GDP number dropping, possibly going to influence the import and exports of goods to China. And that's going to mean that the demand for raw materials or resources from Australia is possibly going to drop. That has that impact, and that has led to the impact in the Aussie dollar. What other news could influence the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar? Looking at the news, nothing much else for today. You can see that after the news at 10 a.m, GMT +8 here, there's nothing much happening until later into the night, where we do have some Canadian and some US numbers, but these are not traditionally big price movers. Tomorrow, we do have the RBA meeting minutes. But what you should gather from the meeting minutes is that we haven't seen big changes from the RBA over the last meeting. So meeting minutes might not have that big a surprise, which also means that we could see a bit better movements on the Aussie dollar here. Building permits from the US looking to stay at about that 1.6 million range, from 1.7 to 1.68. Not a big change here. Going through this global dairy trade price index, this is for New Zealand, tomorrow at 10:30 GMT +8, looking like it's not going to have a big change, so not possibly going to influence the New Zealand dollar too much as well. Wednesday, we do have, well, interestingly, Wednesday, we have the CPI number for the UK. So I'll tell you more about that on Wednesday morning. CPI numbers for the Eurozone, CPI numbers for the Canadians. That would coincide very nicely with our live trading session on Wednesday night. So look forward to that with the Traders Club members. Thursday morning, we have the NAB quarterly business confidence for Australia. This does have some impact on the Aussie dollar, but it does have a bit of a erratic impact, so be careful of that Thursday morning. Following on, you can see not a lot of other news that will influence prices too much. More pound retail sales numbers on Friday, so I'll tell you more about that on Wednesday when we talk about pound dollar. The Eurozone, the pound dollar again, so you can see here that on Friday we have a lot of pound and Eurozone numbers and some US manufacturing PMI numbers. So putting it all together, what you realize is that not a lot of news happening, but we do have the focus on the pound and the euro for this week. So what that means is, looking at the charts again, the Aussie dollar on the H4 time frame here, I anticipate that the analysis done last week, I was saying that it should hit that 7395 and turn down. It hasn't done that last week, but I think what you could be looking for here is same thing, move that line across. I don't think it'll happen quite soon. I think it'll take a while to happen. For it to turn down, it needs to test and break below 7395. So I think you have about a 30-something pip move downwards before looking for that selling opportunity. At about 7379, you could be looking at a 30 pip stop loss for a good 120 pip take profit level, a 1:4 risk reward ratio towards the downside. Bear in mind, this is a counter trend trade. So for you to trade it back down, I don't think you'll move 120 pips down straight away. I think that if you do sell it there, the first point to consider will be a 1:2, about a 60 pip move downwards, and then after 120. Alternatively, is to see whether it will sit, test below, and bounce back up. This will only happen if we do see further US dollar weakening. At this point, I think that, as Scott was sharing with you, jumping into the dollar index here, I think that we might see that base form at about that 94 level or at 93.80 level. We possibly could see it test back to that 94.50 resistance on the US dollar index. So that's also the reason why I think here looking at the Aussie dollar, we might see it test lower again. That said about the Aussie dollar, looking at the Kiwi dollar here, sitting at that 7073 resistance. It hasn't broken lower as I was talking about last week. So I'll take away those lines. At this point right now, I think that because we saw that good news from New Zealand, because we saw that good CPI number from the New Zealand CPI number at 2.2% and 4.9% respectively, I think that we could see a bit of a consolidation here at this point before a bounce, a short-term bounce back up towards 7146. I think that might happen like that. What you should be looking for is for the candle to close above 7086, maybe a 7090, a 20-30 pip stop loss for a good 60 pip take profit level, a 1:2 risk reward ratio back up towards 7146. So a bit of a contrarian view on both the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, breaking away a deviation, breaking away from that correlation. You can see the Aussie dollar expected to drop, Kiwi dollar possibly going to go back up a little bit more before possibly reacting towards that 7146. Because of that deviation, be very careful with either the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar trades. We could see a lot more volatility there. But I think for this week, the focus should shift towards the euro and the pound dollar. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow when we look at the euro, and on Wednesday when we look at the pound dollar. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks for that, Jin. And just for everyone's reference as well, so if you are new and you're wondering about the LCMS Traders Club, I've got the link here. So feel free to click that, and then halfway down that first page that link takes you to, you'll find the point where you can actually register for a 30-day free trial as well. And I actually might just show that just for people's reference as well. So this will take you here, and then we go down and then start it there. Just fill out your details. Again, there's no obligations, and it's not simply just a signals group as well. So what I'll do, I'll just share the actual group now. So we use EchoFin platform to actually get everything across as well, and I'll just go through. We've got a lot of stuff that happens as well within the group, and I really just say, just explore, especially the trading floor, where we've got a lot of commentary, and we actually discuss the signals as well. So they'll come out in the signals section, and then we'll actually go through and people will talk about, what's going on. We have the Forex briefcase section as well for anyone looking to find out a little bit more information on investing with a managed account service where professional traders, thanks to Jim, will actually be managing your trades as well. It's been a lot of what are. Did I say that correctly? I think I did. What are? Been a lot of that this
work in progress.
Been a lot of that this month, especially, and we've still got a little bit more time to go, guys. So it's been quite nice. But this is it. And again, once you're in there, we'll help you out and navigate the whole process as well. And we really just encourage people to come in and make sure you ask questions. So don't just go on a bit of a vendetta where you're taking all the trades and you're taking 2% per trade, because that ends up pretty bad if you don't know what you're doing. So, and again, just to jump back to the chat in Zoom, I've got the Aussie dollar trade idea, and I've also got the Kiwi trade idea, and just a little bit of an explanation about the US dollar index and why really the upside is present. So there's not going to be a lot more downside. So the Kiwi there is explained, and we've also got Forex Trading Asia is a free site where you can register. You get articles from all of us as well, and it explains in a little more detail about each major currency pair most mornings, and what's what's the prevalent levels, because a lot of people ask questions about the levels. And again, we explain that in the EcoFin group with LCMS traders as well. And just finally as well, I'll just quickly share the link for Forex Briefcase. If you have been following us for a while and you're sort of thinking to yourself, look, I like the idea of trading, but it's just a bit overwhelming, then you can benefit from the expertise here, but, actually put your money to work with professionals instead of, property and stocks. You actually can invest in Forex and actually enjoy the benefits of a well managed set of positions as well. We're actually close to 102% now over 3 years. Well, there's the flies. They're the flies. But again, guys, we really do appreciate, there has been a lot more activity in the trading floor chat. Sorry about the wind. I think there's probably some wind noise coming in, but we do really like that, and everyone's sort of helping each other, and that's what we encourage. So we're not just a signals group with the LCMS Traders Club. We're very much, the whole approach is what we look for, where we look to help people with all aspects. And we do offer private coaching as well for people that are looking to really excel their training and their trading possibilities as well. But I think, I thought we nearly had 50. I think we had close to 50, Ginawan, but might have been 46 participants for a Monday. That's pretty good.
I think so. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So again, thanks guys for all your support as well. And make sure you do share the YouTube channel around as well. And I might just actually, I know Jin said this is going to be short. I'm used to having like 4 more monitors around me, so it's been a bit different this morning, but I'll just share. This is the YouTube channel as well, guys. Please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell on this, because there's a lot of good quality material coming out. But I think that's it. Jen, do you have anything else to add, or have I covered it?
You've got it all covered, and we've got the session tonight. So make sure Traders Club members see you at 8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock GMT +8, guys. Thanks for watching and enjoy.